He was telling me my little book, Run from the Nuts. I wrote a little book, Run from the Nuts. I learned a long time ago, you better run from these nuts. And I'm telling you, because let me tell you, over the years, I've tried to deal with the nuts. I've tried to fix them, tweak them, cajole, empathize, sympathy. I've done everything under the sun. Sometimes it's worked, but most of the times it hasn't, because what happens to them at the end of the day, I had no energy left. They succeeded. They drained every bit of the life I had out of me. Because some people are put here to drain life out of you. They'll follow you around like a vampire. I'm telling you, they'll follow you around. So what I'm saying about that is, see, I learned a long time ago to run from them. If I see them coming, I go to walking fast. If they walk fast, I'm running. I'm leaving them. Because I want, if they're not, I want them to know they're a nut. They need to know they're a nut, because what I was doing to placate the nuts, I was running my good people off. See, if I dealt with these all day long, my good people got neglected. Before long, they found something else to do, and I was left with the nuts. And my scores reflected it. Because for every half-liner that left, my scores dropped. All these could leave and it wouldn't be reflected, one thing or other, except go up. I had one come up to me one day, well, I want to tell you something's not fair. I said, really, what is it? It's not fair. I always have duty on Friday afternoon or early Monday morning. Why am I the only one on there? I said, you know, you've hit the nail on the head. It's not fair. Goodness alive. It's not. Nothing fair about it, is it? But also, while we're on this topic, let me tell you what isn't fair. What isn't fair is your colleagues doing most of the work and you're riding their coattails. You won't go to the meetings when they have them. You're always telling me you can't serve, you have other responsibilities at home, but they're up here at 4 o'clock in the afternoon doing things. And you remember not long ago, your colleague across the hall from you, you knew what the medical condition was, and they got a doctor's appointment. They needed to leave 10 minutes before the bell rang, and I asked you if you would just keep an eye on those students. You know what you told me? You told me, well, I can't do that. I was in a school law class, and they said I'm not liable for those students. I said, you know, you might be right, but you know the funny thing about it is the teacher next to you said, I'll be more than happy. That's why I said, that's why that teacher's not on Friday afternoon either. I said, now the good news is you can get off of it, but you're going to have to scratch yourself out of this hole that you're in. Now, but you know what? The more I said that, the more they wanted to get off that duty. They wanted to start doing things more and more. And let me give you a stress tip. You might not hear me say anything else today that makes sense to you, but I promise you, let me give you a stress tip. It will save you. Let the last person you speak with every day before you leave your workplace be someone that makes you laugh, feel good. If you can't find those people, go and write a good news note or make a good news phone call and run to your car and you lock it. Lock it. Now, if you don't lock it, that's the key component of this process. Because here comes the prophet of doom. The prophet of doom lingers. Here they come. Now, see, now if this happens to you on a Friday afternoon, that's a double whammy. You better hope if they get to you it's during the week, because you only have overnight. So you go to your car, they follow you. Now, you can have had a wonderful day. You know, most of your days are good. Sometimes something can happen. If it happens right at the end of the day, you seem to carry it over. So you go to your car, you get in it, here they come. Their hand will hit your door latch, and their face will press up against your glass. Do not, under any circumstances, open. Because if you do, you will hear something like, and you say, yes, what is it? I should not even be mentioned. I'm telling you, I'm just upset, so I had to tell somebody. Well, what is it? I really can't tell you because I just overheard it. Now, I don't know if it's the truth, if it's a rumor. I cannot substantiate it, but all I can tell you is, if it is true, this is the worst thing this school system's ever done. Well, what was it? Look, I shouldn't even be mentioning it. You have you a wonderful weekend. There you go. Now you go to gripping your steering wheel. Veins in your neck pop out. Stress, heart attacks, strokes, ulcers, insomnia. Your whole weekend is ruined because of the prophet of doom. Go to that car, you lock it. Look, when their hand hits the door latch and their face presses up against your glass, pull off! Sure, you're want to hear a boom. Floor it. I love to look around the rearview mirror and see a critic rolling in the grass back there. I love to see that. Run from these folks. I'm telling you, run from these people. Now let me tell you, your solutions are already here. You see, you could go around this building and put a wall up, and we would be here and can't get out. Because if you're waiting for someone on the outside to come in and fix the problems that you have, they ain't coming. They don't know what to do either. They're in a roar. They don't have a clue. Nobody's coming. Calvary's not coming for you. So don't be looking for a Calvary. If you're to be fixed, it has to come from you. See, it took me a long time to learn that. I used to blame everybody for it. I've been to hundreds of these right here. Never moved me until I decided to move myself. It's like that teacher. When you get in that car and go back to your school, say, doggone it, today's the day. When those kids come next week, or whenever they're coming this week, Wednesday, Thursday, whatever it is, when they come, there will be a difference. There'll be a difference in the way I approach them. There'll be a difference in the way I teach them. That makes a difference because you need passion. You're not letting energy vampires get you down, see. So you'll have energy, you'll have enthusiasm because kids respond to people who teach with enthusiasm. If I'd have started this morning, good morning. Thank you very much. Hope to talk to you about an hour this morning. Hopefully you'll learn something. Don't let them go to sleep on you out there. You see, you've got to have a little something to keep them dragging in. See, another thing research tells you, they have short attention spans. They need motivating. They need those kinds of things. What we're doing in education now, we've been taking kids from wherever they are and bringing them to us and making us fit into our molds. Now we're going where they are. 75% of the teachers have never played those week games that many of them are playing with. You better be playing them because you're going to have lessons on those things. That's where we're going. Don't wait for it to happen to you. Happen to it. That's what the good ones do. Don't wait for it. If you see it, if you see there's a technique or strategy that you can bring in your room that'll bring learning alive. See, you'll have great lesson plans written up right now. Many of you have just polished. You have just polished those lesson plans. You've polished them. Shakespeare Award. They're beautiful, aren't they? But they're as useless as a sundial and a shade if you don't do something with it. See, I don't care what you write on paper for them. As a principal, I wasn't interested in seeing them. I didn't want to see them. I want to walk by and see how many was connected. I want to see that connectivity. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care what you write. I care about what you do. I care about the outcome, the end results. That's the nature. So when they come in, lesson plans are wonderful, but you got to be able to execute. See, right now, we talk about our curriculums. That's all we're changing, curriculums. We're moving bones from one graveyard to the next. We change curriculums. When are we going to quit it? It's not the curriculum. Well, when are we going to learn? It's not the curriculum, my Lord. The curriculum 30 years ago is as good as it is today. The same thing. It's the delivery of the darn thing. It's the delivery of it, not standardized curriculum. You've got to get some standardized delivery. When people are delivering it in a way which people are listening. You see, there are only so many ways to teach math. How many ways can you teach math? Adding, someone to add. We all teach the same thing, so if we all teach the same thing, why is it some are more productive than others? They get to them. They get